Hello and welcome to the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance was a cultural movement amongst African Americans in New York City. It took place during the 1920s in Harlem, New York. There are a few important things to know here, but first, why don't you try one of these delicious heart-shaped red croissants? Heart-shaped red croissant sure sounds a lot like Harlem Renaissance, doesn't it? First, take a look at the roller coaster in the back of the image. This is our Roaring Twenties roller coaster. Things were great in the 1920s, so this roller coaster is going up, up, up. This should help remind you that the Harlem Renaissance took place during the Roaring Twenties. Next, take a look at the little boy in the elephant costume. He is enjoying some gravy, which goes great with a nice, hot, heart-shaped red croissant. The word gravy should help you remember the name Marcus Garvey, who was a proponent of black pride and African nationalism. He sponsored the Back to Africa movement, which is why this little kid is wearing an elephant costume. The Back to Africa movement encouraged African Americans to return to Africa. Next, take a look at the cashier's purse on the counter. The word purse should help you remember the name Hurston. Get it? Purston? Hurston? This should help you remember that Zora Neale Hurston was a famous writer during the Harlem Renaissance. Just focus on the last name here, Hurston. We put a book in the purse to help you remember that she was a famous writer. Next, take a look at the buff guy playing the trumpet. I mean, just look at those strong arms. He should help remind you of Louis Armstrong, who was a famous jazz musician during the Harlem Renaissance. Next, notice the axe next to Louis Armstrong. Maybe this croissant stand has a fireplace inside? Anyway, it should help you remember Langston Hughes, who was another famous writer. That's why the axe is piercing the book. And that's it for the Harlem Renaissance. This is a short, sweet image that should help you easily remember the famous names you need to know for your exam.